Is it called the backcountry, the high country, or the Alpine? I think it's all of them. Well, whatever it is, we came here to California to climb the Sierra's tallest peaks: Mount Russell, Mount Muir, Mount Whitney, and Mount Langley. That was quick. Sea to summit in 24 hours. That was 14,000 feet, Brian.
Excellent.
Yeah, now we got 7 days at the picturesque Iceberg Lake. I'll be honest, I'm afraid of failing. Our last Alpine trip was successful in a sense, but we were slow, inexperienced, and we had to back down. But this last year, I've trained so much. And even with all that, what if it's still too hard? I'm hiking up and up towards these monstrous peaks and I feel uncertain. Are you ready? I need to find out. I have to try to push myself into the unknown. Now that we finally made it to our camp at Iceberg Lake, we have 6 days to climb as much as we possibly can. We're going to go for 4 climbing routes: the east face and the east buttress of Mount Whitney, and Mithril Dihedral and Fishhook Arete on Mount Russell. We've got around 1 or 2 rest days to...
We can use those rest days to bag a few more peaks.
Okay, no rest days. Let's go. Climbing the east face of Mount Whitney, day 2. Except it hailed and rained for an hour. So instead we chose to do our mega hike, the Dinner Plate Traverse. We started by ascending the pass between Russell and Whitney, and then slobbed up the south slope of Russell. Then took the ridge, which was just amazing, to the main summit of Russell. Descending the north ridge of Russell took longer than expected, so we skipped on Morganson and made our way up Mount Tunabun. Tunabora. That's what we are on now. From here on out, we're going to be descending to Toleno Lake, filling up water, going up the Cleaver and down, and up the pass between Carillon and Russell. Bag Carillon, and then major thunderstorms very close to top of the Cleaver, but we're gonna have to bail and wait for a window where we can resummit Russell and get down. Also, California's on fire. Wow. Hasn't thundered in an hour. It is raining rain and ash on us, but we're gonna go for it. East Ridge of Russell, back to camp before it gets worse. Whew. We made it back to see our tent covered in ash. If the California fires don't spread, we'll be up Whitney tomorrow morning.
Even if they spread, we'll just shelter up there. They can't get us.
There's nothing to burn.
No trees.
It was mid-morning on August 16th, 1931, when the 5 men stood at Iceberg Lake, just below the cliff. The true east face lay to their left. It was so sheer and unbroken that they didn't even consider it. But the right side of the face, above the lake, looked more promising. Suddenly, I saw what seemed just a possible route, wrote Underhill in his account of the climb. They quickly ascended 600 feet of talus in third class until they reached ledges leading onto the main face. After a short delay because of route finding problems, they reached the washboard, a rippled section of tiered slabs that proved easier than expected. 400 feet of third and fourth class rock were rapidly overcome. The foursome soon reached an exposed wall that offered no immediate way up. The 2 younger climbers suggested a frontal attack, but as Underhill put it, before such a tour de force was undertaken, Clyde and I urged that a traverse, which we had already noticed out to the left, be investigated. Clyde later wrote that this traverse proved to be one requiring considerable steadiness, as the ledges were narrow and there was 1,000 feet of fresh air below. The now famous fresh air traverse is generally regarded as the crux. Higher lay the grand staircase, a 400-foot section consisting of easy slopes interspersed with short vertical steps. At the 14,200-foot level, the climbers emerged onto an area of excellent broken rock. Unroping, they wandered individually up the final few hundred feet, pausing when out of breath to gaze at the astonishingly clear vista. Arete wrote that even the Californians did not succeed in remaining impeccably blasé about the view. Soon the 4 climbers were shaking hands with Farquhar. The ascent had taken just 3¼ hours, a time that is rarely equaled today.
The east face of Whitney felt solid. It truly felt incredible to be up there. But we are exhausted. I haven't been sleeping. The altitude gnaws at my head, lungs, and soul. The tent flapping in the gale force winds jolts me awake at night. My body feels strong on the move, but I sit down and feel such a unique exhaustion that I have never experienced before. A weight on my eyes, a dull headache. But who cares if I'm tired? In order to reach our goals and climb all these climbs, we gotta keep pushing. Sleep eventually. We have a lot of time at night. But the day is for climbing.
How do I eat it?
Just take a bite.
Right out of the middle?
Yeah,
Then it's gonna be 2 separate parts.
it's okay.
Whitney number 2. I'm so dead.
In 1976, 2 guys from Southern California started East Side New Route pioneering when they followed a fuzzy photograph to the southwest face of Mount Russell. Others had ventured to these horrifying corners before, but Roberts pointed his finger on the photo to the longer, truer, more horrifying corner. "Let's go do it," said Roberts. "No way," said Bartlett. "The approach is too long. I went up there when I was learning to climb and did the east face of Whitney, and I vowed I'm never going back." But Roberts persuaded Bartlett to break that vow and make his only second trip to the high country. The next day, Bartlett took the first blocky access pitch, working up short steps and around some loose blocks towards the dihedral. As he ran out the rope, he set a belay and looked up in awe at the blonde, sun-warmed verticality. As he belayed Roberts up, he was already envisioning return trips. Following easily, Roberts hustled up, but suddenly he was riding down. A big block was giving way with his bare hug. He let go, but with the rope stretched, he kept dropping, and the block exploded onto the talus below. Bartlett couldn't see what had happened. He just held the weight and heard the crash. He called down. No answer. In alarm, he called again. "Alan!" His mind started racing through what he'd have to do to rescue his partner. But then Roberts recovered his awareness, realized he was unhurt, and called back. A short ways up the next pitch, Bartlett came to a chimney. The sustained steepness clearly began from there, and it would require who knows how much rope, so he belayed again. In the top of the chimney, he set good pro, reached out and up into the remarkable corner, hoping for purchase.
and his hands found perfect nesting. He yarded on the jams, and up the dihedral went, up higher and higher, bridging his feet between any available edge or nubbin, so very pleased to find the crack as continuous as the corner was relentless. As the rope and his rack started to run out, the dihedral eased back to a slab stance, an obvious belay. Not far up the next pitch, the crack blanked a bit, and Bartlett was momentarily stumped. He decided to exit the last of the corner via a harsh lieback flake, running up and right. Again, some good nut placements gave him the confidence to hang his rear over space and pull through. Less demanding ground led to an obvious unroping spot, and from there the two scrambled to the summit. They rated the route 5-9, and Roberts decided they should name it after the mythic metal that in Tolkien stories is used to make lightweight armor for high mobility warriors, the Mithril Dihedral.
Good job, Brian. Why does your teeth have... Oh, it's chocolate in it.
Chocolate?
Yeah.
I brushed my teeth.
And that's the summit of Russell, isn't it?
Yeah?
Okay, I'm going to the top. Third summit this week. Yeah.
If you've made it this far, seriously, thank you for watching. This trip, the accomplishments we made in these mountains, they mean everything to me. This is what motivates me. It was difficult, exhausting, and even painful. And I loved it.